Hello, everybody, and welcome to CCCLXVI, the podcast where we talk about the last movies we watched in the last week. So, what were we going to talk about? Do you have anything planning for talking about the intro or anything?
No.
No, not really. Oh yeah, this is recorded a day late. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yesterday was Mother's Day, so we weren't recording our podcast and stuff. We were doing other things with our mom because we love her so much and other things. Yeah. So
it's it was also Sunday, but
it was Mother's Day. That was why we didn't record it. So we were gonna give you a Mother's Day special, but then we decided to make our Mother's Day special. Right? That sounds okay, right? It's not that bad.
What are we gonna name this episode? Mother's Day special?
Now we're gonna just. Oh, interesting fact is every single one of our movies this week begins with the letter T.
It does? Just name it T Week then.
Yeah, this is T Week. Hello and welcome to episode T Week. Okay, so the first movie that we watched this week was Total Recall. And now, Total Recall, pretty good.
Starts with the T.
They'll start with the T. Okay, I'm just going to say all these begin with T, so it's Total Recall, The Third Man, Touch of Evil, The Player, and The Way We Were. Two of those begin with the, so like that sometimes isn't classified as beginning with the T, but every single one of these begins with the letter T, if we're including does. So isn't that sort of cool? I think that's the first time that happened. Hold on, I'm going to try to see. That's different letters.
Don't drop your room on the floor.
Okay, so far, I don't think that this has happened any other time. Yeah, this is the first time that everything is began with the same letter. Yeah, I'm going like all the way back, and it's first time everything has began with the same letter. So that's pretty cool, right, guys? So let's talk about the movies now because
I kind of want to drop my room on the floor again.
Okay, no, please don't. So Total Recall, that was a great movie. I mean, Arnold is fantastic. We've watched a couple other Arnold movies, and Arnold's a great action actor, but he's not the best if you're looking for a serious film. And Total Recall is definitely not a serious film, and I definitely enjoy that about Total Recall. Don't you agree, Benji? I mean, it's not like a very serious film, but it's a great action film. It has some great set pieces. It's just like a really fun and enjoyable movie to watch, and I really enjoy it. It's like a sci-fi action movie, which are two of my favorite genres if I'm looking for an enjoyable movie. It also has some funny scenes.
Okay.
You know?
I have one question. What do you do the thing?
What do you mean?
What do you, is the name of the company like Total Recall?
The name of the company is just Recall.
Recall, okay. Yeah, would you go to the Recall?
Okay, so,
I totally would.
We're gonna let's talk about that like in a little bit. We're gonna first review the film, okay? Then we're gonna start talking about the actual film itself. So I enjoyed the film. I liked it. I'm gonna give it a 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 because it's not too good, you know. But definitely a fun, enjoyable movie. I definitely recommend you watching it. Only problem is it's a little bit violent. Or it's pretty violent, and it also has like, I don't know, it's violent and everything. But it's great. I like it. It's good. It's very fun. So, what would you give it out of 10, Benji?
I rate it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 because I really just care if you enjoy the movie, not really if it's serious or not.
Yeah, Benji views films more for entertainment than I do. I view them more for like art and stuff. I'm trying to move my John Cena away from my mic. Scoot it closer. There we go. There was going to be probably a change in audio levels right there. But sorry. What we're going to talk about. Oh, yeah. So would I do Recall? Probably. It sounds cool, you know.
But the shot.
There's a shot, yeah, but,
it's worth it, totally. If I could be a super spy that goes around and shoots people, yes.
Well, the thing is that the thing I hate the most about shots is not the pain, it's the fact that it's a giant needle. Right? That's just like a short shotgun.
What if it goes all the way through?
You know, but the thing is, that's just like a shotgun that just shoots you really quickly, you know, and makes you fall asleep. However,
and there's not a big needle.
There's not a giant needle, which is what I'm the most scared of whenever I'm having a shot.
It's not going to go all the way through my body. Hey, I didn't mention, but I'm now wearing my jacket as a cape.
Okay. I was wearing my blanket as a cape earlier.
Whenever we were starting.
But, so yeah, the fact that I could die or whatever, but, it seems pretty cool. I really like this sort of idea of memories and, you know, how real are our memories, because, the human memory is not actually that reliable. I'm not quite sure if half the things that I remember are actually true or not.
Like, one time, I spent, 5 days thinking this thing, and then, I talked to my mom about it, and she was like, that never happened. I'm like, oh, that was a dream. But it totally seemed like it did.
Yeah, I like talking about the subject of dreams and everything. I feel like we
Unlike
probably
somebody.
should have talked about that more on the episode where we did Inception. Maybe watch Dreamscape just so that we can talk about dreams again or something. Because just as an excuse to talk about dreams, because I really like talking about that sort of subject and stuff. But, yeah, so we both like Total Recall.
Oh.
So now we're going to review The Third Man. This movie is great. I really like Orson Welles. I don't know, I just really enjoy seeing him as, like, an actor and everything. And so he was in this, and he was great in this, you know? The performances were great in this. The writing was great. The acting was great. I already said that. The story was great. It's a really sort of nice noir film. Right? Didn't you enjoy The Third Man, Benji?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 because it was a little bit boring in parts. And but I overall enjoyed it. You enjoyed it, right, Benji? I already asked you that. But what would you give it out of 10? What are your thoughts on it?
I believe everything you said, except I give it a 9.5 out of 10. And something I missed, and I'm asking you this question. So, did he ever figure out who the third man was, or no?
I don't remember, actually.
He didn't, I don't think.
Did he?
They named it the third man, but after they found... no, I'm not going to say it. After they found Harry alive...
Yeah, after they found out that Orson Welles' character, Harry Lime, was still alive.
Oh, I did say it?
Yeah, I'm not going to say it.
Now, So...
I think they just dropped the
after
whole
they found
third
that,
man
it wasn't
thing
really
overall.
looking for the third man or anything. Now it was just looking for him. And, you know...
Yeah, and also there's, like, the final sort of escape scene in the sewers or whatever. And that scene was really well done. I really liked that. Orson Welles' just great performance and everything. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, like, whenever he, you could kind of tell, like, where he could go was getting limited, and slowly he was being pushed into corners and stuff, you know, and eventually he was gonna, because they have, like, whole troops, you know, going down into the sewers trying to find him.
Yeah, and then he gets cornered, and then, like, whenever his hands are going through the grate to go up to the ceiling, or to the sky and stuff, that was a really well done shot, right? Don't you agree with me right there?
Yeah, so why did he stop? Did he stop because whatever's name was there? Because he didn't stop until he was there. But was it because it was too heavy? Because aren't there 6, like, really heavy?
No, he didn't. He What do you mean, did he stop? He wasn't trying to push it up. He was just trying to feel up there, I think. You know, to feel the sky for the last time.
Oh, I thought he was trying to push it up. Sorry.
I mean, maybe. I'm not quite sure. Was he trying to push it up? But I think it's a lot more poetic and stuff if he was just feeling the sky for the last time. So yeah, I liked it. Benji liked it. We overall would recommend this film. Much more artistic film, you know, than Total Recall. But I would say it's not as enjoyable as Total Recall. So yeah, Third Man was pretty good. Also written by Graham Greene.
Oh, did I rate it?
Yeah, you rated it.
it?
This was written by 9.5, I think. This was written by Graham Greene, who wrote a short story, I think, called The Destructors, and that's a short story I read for literature class, and I really enjoyed that short story. So seeing that he wrote this, I was a little bit excited, and it was good. The third movie we watched was Touch of Evil, written, directed, or I don't know if it was written. I think he didn't write the original script, but he did a ton of revisions to the script. But Orson Welles did this movie pretty much. He also has a pretty large role in it. He's not the primary character, as in the case of Citizen Kane, yet he is definitely a pretty big character in this film.
Oh yeah, he's the whole main bad guy.
Yeah, he's sort of like the main antagonist of the film, I guess.
Yeah.
So the beginning shot of Touch of Evil is like a 3-minute tracking shot, which is great.
Oh, yeah. The player had the 9 minutes.
Yeah, the player, which we're going to review next, has a 9-minute tracking shot, which is the only reason why I watched these two movies is because in literature class we were talking about tracking shots and stuff, and so we watched the opening one from Touch of Evil and the opening one from the player. So, yeah, Touch of Evil was great. I really enjoyed it. I found it more enjoyable. I just found it better than The Third Man, so I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10, I think. Touch of Evil's a 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty well written. I mean, it has a great sort of story and everything. Nice sort of investigating film, like who done it, sort of. Not really a who done it, but is like trying to prove that he planted the dynamite in the shoebox or whatever. But in the end, it doesn't even matter because it turns out that he did it anyways. And so, little similarity between The Third Man and Touch of Evil is both of the times Orson Welles' character gets shot and then he takes a while to die. You know?
Wait, what are you talking about?
He shoots somebody else, then he gets shot, and then he takes a while to die, and then he finally dies.
When did he shoot somebody else?
Touch of Evil, he shoots his partner, and in The Third Man, he shoots the guy who read all of the books. Yeah. Remember?
What?
And in The Third Man, he shoots the guy who read all of the main person's books. I don't remember what the main person's name was in The Third Man, but he read, like, all the books and everything.
Oh, yeah, he was got shot.
Yeah, he shot him.
Yeah, and, at first I was like, wait, why would he got shot? But then, he got... That, in The Third Man, Harry got shot twice. Sorry, yeah. He got shot once, and then he was climbing up, and then he got shot again.
Did he get shot again? I don't remember if he got shot again.
Yeah, he got shot once, and then he started climbing up the stairs. And then, like, the guy was there, and then he shot him again and walked out.
Yeah. Okay, but I enjoyed Touch of Evil. Great opening shot. I mean, one of the things I don't like about opening with an opening shot that is really long and, like, a really nice shot is because it sets up a really high expectation for the rest of the film, and if the rest of the film isn't as good as that opening shot, then you're sort of a little bit disappointed. The film was pretty good. I don't think it was as good as the opening shot, because the opening shot is fantastic, but, I mean, it was good. I enjoyed it.
And now whenever we get onto the player, I got something I want to say.
Okay, so I think we're done with Touch of Evil. We both gave it 10 out of 10s, right?
No, we did. Wait. Touch of Evil, we rated both of them a 10. Okay,
yeah.
got it.
Yeah. Now, the player, you had something to say, so I'm going to let you say it now.
So, there's a reference to Touch of Evil. Yeah, there's a reference to Touch of Evil in it. They're like, and so why the tracking shots going on? There's this one guy who's talking about tracking shots because it's about movies and stuff. It's about, like, Hollywood or something. And so, why it's there, somebody starts talking about, they had a 3-minute, following shot in, Touch of Evil, and he was talking about that.
Yeah. In the, opening shot of the player. Which is a nice sort of little, I guess. But I really like how it's talking about tracking shots and opening shots and really long shots at the beginning of it, you know? And while that's going on, so I find that nice sort of meta thing that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
What was I going to say next? So yeah, the player, not as good as Touch of Evil or The Third Man. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. But it was still pretty good. I mean, Robert Altman's a pretty good director. I really like how... Did you notice in this film how, like, people were like, sort of talking over each other and stuff? It seemed a lot more real than most movie dialogue. Did you notice that while watching the player?
Yeah. Like, when if that one guy's talking about his pitch, like, he messes up, like, 3 times.
Well, your mic just went really quiet right there.
It
yeah.
Did. Is it good now?
You talk.
Hello?
Okay, it sounds better now. Okay. Sorry, your mic just went really quiet. What?
Wait, can you not hear me now?
It's fine. Okay. Your mic just went really quiet all there for a second. Sorry.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Something about the player, and, oh yeah, but I was talking to you about dialogue in the player, and how Robert Altman doesn't really like how, in most films...
They always get all their...
it seems too unrealistic, so he wanted to try to do that. Which I think is... I don't know if that's necessarily better for a film, but it definitely makes it seem more realistic, and it's an interesting sort of way to look at it. But, I mean, I don't think that movies should be like real life. It's a movie, not real life. There's certain differences between movies and real life. I'm just gonna try to name drop In the Blink of an Eye by Walter Murch. It's a film that sort of talks about... Or it's not a film, it's a book that talks about, like, the differences between film and real life and cuts and all sorts of different stuff.
I got Save the Cat. That's another thing about screenplay writing.
Yeah, but you haven't read that book. I actually have read my book.
At all. It's because of the cover. If I touch the cover, it feels weird.
You have the stupidest reasons for not doing things.
And I also just don't want to. Secret.
Okay, so we both enjoyed The Player. I found it pretty funny. It was like a nice sort of comedy. It was sort of like Unforgiven in the way that I was expecting a bad ending, right?
Oh, yeah. So did I.
You know, you expect him to get caught and go to jail because he kills...
but no.
What was the guy's first name? It was Kahane was his last name. What was his first name? The writer that he kills?
I have no idea. So, something I don't really get is, like, the ending. What you were reading about this on the...
IMDb?
I don't know.
IMDb.
Yeah. The IMB.
It's not it.
Yeah. I know. Okay, so whenever you're reading about it, it's like, what is the ending?
Yeah, I mean, he's just blackmailing him, basically, is what he's doing.
Are you sure that's what it is?
It's blackmail.
Well, I get to choose whatever I want.
Yeah, you can choose whatever you want to believe, but that's not what it is. I mean, there's a certain piece of dialogue which is like, can you guarantee me that happy ending? And he's like, oh yeah, I can guarantee it. Well, then you got your script, is basically what he says, which basically means, hey, guy, I don't want to go to jail, so if you just don't tell anybody in this story that was actually real life has a happy ending, then you get to make it. So yeah, that's what the player is. We both enjoyed it.
Yeah, I just pretend.
What would you give it out of 10, Benji?
And what's up? How come he kills the guy who's sending a postcard?
No, he doesn't.
Right?
He kills the wrong writer.
But I don't remember there being a moment of shock whenever he finds out he killed the wrong writer. Is there?
Not really.
Wouldn't there be shock like, oh no, I killed the wrong person?
Yeah, I guess,
no
but I mean, that's not enough. Yeah, okay, whatever, fine. But it's not true.
Yeah, so I think it's all a dream.
Okay.
I'm not a dream. Sorry, that's all. You're actually watching
Maybe you need
the
to
movie.
read Save the Cat, because I'm sure that talks about how that's the stupidest writing crux ever. And how if you... it's all a dream is so stupid.
No, I'm not saying it's all a dream. What that was
yeah,
is
but
we
basically
were
what you're
watching
saying
movie,
is it
and
is...
at the start he says action. At the start he's like, and action, you know? And then that's when the movie really starts. It's not all a dream. At the end of the movie, that's how the movie ends. But... okay, it just came to me what I'm saying is really stupid. Like, oh, it's actually not real.
Yeah, but why do they say action at the beginning? Oh, wow, Benji. You saying that right there actually sort of changed my perspective on this film.
Are you kidding?
Changed my perspective a little bit. Okay, now we're going to talk about The Way We Were, which is, we watched this on Mother's Day with our mother to make her Mother's Day the best day ever. Because she wanted us to watch this film. And we watched it, and Benji cried, and so did I.
You cried too? Okay, got it.
Yeah, he was going to yell at me like, you cried too! And I was like, yeah, I did cry. You know, I'm proud of that. You know? Sad movie. I'm okay with crying, because I'm in touch with my emotions. Because I'm a real man. What were we going to talk about, though? Also, in the player, sorry, to go back to the player, but they actually watch Bicycle Thieves in the player, which I found sort of interesting, because I've never heard of this movie ever before. And then all of a sudden we watched this movie like a week after we watched The Bicycle Thieves, and they talk about Bicycle Thieves in it, which is sort of weird and everything, you know, right?
It's like Illuminati confirmed.
Illuminati confirmed, yes. Let's talk about The Way We Were, though. That was a great film. Robert Redford is fantastic. I love him. You like him too, right? He's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
He used to be Benji's favorite actor, but then all of a sudden that was Clint Eastwood because we watched The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah, it's still Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood is like...
But Robert Redford's pretty good. He's great. He's great in this film. Barbara Streisand is great in this film. Sidney Pollack, who was also in The Player. I'm not quite sure if that's how you pronounce his last name. I presume it's not, because it seems a little bit weird to pronounce his last name like that, so I'm sure it's something else, and I just totally butchered it. But it's fine, because I don't really care that much.
It's okay, Polly doesn't listen.
He's dead, I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
Jesus. It's not Hugh, he was a great director. And actor and everything. But yeah, this movie was great. It's fantastic. It has a great song. Barbara Streisand's great. I don't know. It's really sad. It's a great sort of love story. I don't really have too much to say about this film, though. I mean, just say watch it, right?
Okay, yeah. We just need to do something to add lots of minutes onto this.
No, it's not. It's like 20 minutes already.
It's only 20 minutes long.
Yeah, that's longer than some of ours. So, you said that it's like really sad and stuff. Yeah. So,
yeah.
I mean, my personal opinion on how sad this movie is, I think it makes it a much better film because it makes you feel something. However, you think it's awful because it makes you sad. So, I mean...
yeah.
I guess it's just like our two sort of diverting ways of thinking on this is, I think, films' primary purpose is to make you feel something, and if it makes you feel something, then it's a good film. However, you just don't want to be sad, which I can understand. I mean, we talked not undersea, understand. I guess it would be underswim, right? Because it's undersea. It's not very funny, right?
Yeah, you're kind of...
It's a stupid joke. Anyways, what was I going to say?
Good
Oh yeah,
stuff.
but earlier this episode we talked about how it's our opinions on film are different. You know, you personally think that film is for entertainment. I think it's more of an art form. In my opinion, art should make you feel something. However, you want to be entertained, and you aren't entertained by being sad. I guess it's just our two different ways of thinking, but I think it's a great film. Did I rate it already? Because if I did, and I rated it...
No, you didn't.
I didn't? Okay. I might have rated it, and it might not have been this rating, but I'm rating this film a 10 out of 10. It's fantastic. Definitely recommend you watch it. It's a great film. I don't really like love stories or whatever, which this definitely is, but I really like this film, so I definitely recommend you watch it. What would you give it out of 10, Midgie?
A 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10. You didn't like it? You're still going to give it a 9 out of 10.
Mom told me to.
Mom told you to. Yeah. I mean, you liked it, though. I mean, you got to give it credit for making you cry and everything. It's a great movie. I love it.
If a movie makes you cry, the movie's bad.
No, it's a great movie.
Unless it's like Braveheart.
This movie tries to make... Why is it different than Braveheart?
Because they don't win at the end.
So, I mean, it's life, man. We watched The Player, and it talks about how the realities of life and stuff.
Yeah, but that movie that they talked about in The Player didn't end that way, did it?
Yeah, that's because the whole point of that is that they sold out. It's bad that it ended with a happy ending. It's supposed to have the sad ending with no stars, and it has Bruce Willis and whatever her name is, Julia Roberts.
Fine.
I liked it. Benji didn't. He really did like it. He just isn't saying that because it made him cry. But yeah, this has been CCCLXVI, the podcast where we're talking about the last movies in the last week. And goodbye!
We gotta say a quote.
No, we don't.